Hi everybody, welcome once again to our Low on Health Rambling. This is for the Games of the Year 2018. So this is going to be going over all the video games that I've played to a very extensive, smaller list. Games that you played.
Didn't I play like 2?
Maybe 3 tops.
Three?
Yeah, who knows. Games
I
that
didn't game that much.
we kind of played this year. Of course, this is the main whole point of me doing my Low on Health website, of me just keeping track of what games I played so I can remember. This particular year was actually probably the most busiest gaming I have ever been. Which was interesting because we initially thought, since this was the first year we lived together, that we'd be doing our hobbies less, but we found out we did them more, which is very, very cool. Also this year, along with my GameFly, which we know I use, and Games with Gold, which PSN has this too, where they give you the free games every month. It gives me a certain amount of free games to play. Also this year I used Game Pass, which is Xbox's kind of subscription service like Netflix, but not really like Netflix.
And you did a whole video about that.
I did a whole other video of it. You've probably seen it posted up. If not, it's somewhere. But I basically ramble on just the games I played in Game Pass.
Which was a lot.
Which was a lot. In which case, this particular video is talking about all the games. So this is every single game that I have played, period, this year.
The games
including Game Pass, Games with Gold, GameFly, and a bunch of other like little PC games here or there. As always with these games, I will play them for as long as I feel I can enjoy them, or until I know what the deal's with them. I understand the mechanics or the gameplay, and I just know if it is or is not for me. I don't like continually playing a game if I'm not going to enjoy it.
No.
Or if I can only get a certain amount of achievements out of it and then just kind of move on. There's only so many Mega Man games or like platformers or sports games I can only play for so long until they're 100%.
You get sick of them real quick.
They're boring. To me. Just to me. As always, a lot of the games that I do like a lot are narrative-based. I weigh that heavily, as which I've mentioned almost every single time.
They have a good story.
When I get to the list here, it will have mostly narrative games. So without further ado, this is the total list of games I played this year, which equals 257 games that I played this year, which is an extreme amount. And like I said...
That's what, like just a little shy of 100... Almost a game a day.
Let's watch her do math.
Close to watch me do mental math and
It will probably never be this high, and this mainly because of Game Pass. Game Pass, I was able to play a lot of like smaller games and just blow through them. But as here, 257 total. These are my top 10. So that goes to show, out of those, these are like the highlights.
The ones you enjoyed.
In which case, you will see a lot of familiar names here. You got the Assassin's Creed, Life is Strange, Far Cry, Hitman, Battlefield. But for my number one this year, it was in between Kingdom Come Deliverance and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. In which case, this is when I usually defer to Rose about, like, what do you recall me talking about or saying? Because I definitely spent a lot of time in both of these games.
It was more like, which one did I hear you complain about more?
In which case, that's not to say I complained about the game a bunch. It's which one I complained about the least, I guess, would probably be.
Yeah, or which one that you kept thinking about and talking about afterwards. In which case, your number one definitely has to be Ren Fair the game.
Which, yes, you call it Ren Fair the game. It's also called, like, the Skyrim without magic. It is essentially just an open world game where it's just kind of like Skyrim, just without magic. You're a blacksmith. You don't even know how to read in the beginning of the game. You have to learn to read. It's just a nice, fun game that I just found myself being like immersed in. I would just spend so much time in this game. I enjoyed it a lot. And that was played earlier in the year. So a lot of the games we play earlier in the year are kind of getting forgotten about. But yeah, I just really enjoy that game. And
you
then
went back to it a couple times.
A couple of times, yes. And then Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I just still really much enjoyed this Assassin's Creed.
Cassandra was great.
I like, being able to choose in between Alexios and Cassandra, and then just playing as Cassandra. The characters are just awesome, and the story is just so solid. Like, and yes, if you haven't played any Assassin's Creeds recently, doesn't matter. It's a good game. Just play it. The whole timeline, canonical sense of all the other games, just forget about it. Just play the game.
Yeah, you don't have to play the other ones in order to enjoy that one.
The best bits of Black Flag, which is like my favorite of the series. This is kind of maybe my second or third behind Brotherhood.
I liked Cassandra's character too.
Yeah, it was very much like they were fun. Like the game wasn't dour. It didn't feel...
The voice acting was good.
Oh, voice acting was
really
excellent.
Really good. And they had a couple of memorable just like NPCs.
They were just...
Like that one guy with white hair was really funny.
Basically like the guy you could always try to sleep with.
Yeah. Every time we would run into him, it would be like, Hey, it's funny.
And then of course you see like a lot of like kind of the choose your own adventure, the narrative games, the Telltale Batman game.
Yeah,
Their
games
version,
where the story is the thing.
yeah, the Telltale game, their version of the Joker was just
John.
excellent.
He was, yeah, it was very, yeah.
And
I
you could
liked it.
basically choose like what kind of path even like he goes down, like how he reacts to everything.
Yeah,
and
from
like
your interactions with
which
him.
was just great. Life is Strange, once again, I love that type of just feel. The music is always good, the visual style is good. This one didn't have the cool time rewind mechanic, but it was still just a solid, fun story.
The characters were still really good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad that they didn't get to be voiced by, well, Rachel didn't have a voice actress.
Yeah, by
in
the original voice actress,
but
yeah. Because of the
Chloe
strike.
did.
Then you have Doki Doki, which once again, some of these games are from last year. Doki Doki was a big hit last year. We got to it this year.
It's always what year we played.
Yeah. In which Doki Doki is just phenomenal. Like a lot of people have probably watched Let's Plays and
Yeah.
whatnot. I would definitely recommend if you've never seen it or something, just do it yourself dry. It is so
Yeah,
good.
don't find out anything about it beforehand.
Which is now it's like 2 years removed, so that's even rarer.
Yeah. But it's
It's
still
a it's a
possible.
free Steam game. Just get it.
It's really good.
It is just so very very very
it's
good.
It's
good.
dating sim, and then but you need to be okay with horror.
It's- yeah, and
if you play the game, you need to be okay with.
It's also
horror.
a meta game, which also because of how many games I play, and it's about games in general.
Yeah,
how like
we
that.
appreciate those type of narratives.
Then we have Far Cry
Wow.
5, which I mentioned before. I got the collector's edition here. I've enjoyed it. Very solid Far Cry. Hitman 2, which is still just a fun, just sandboxy game. Vampyr, which is another one a lot of people probably haven't heard about. It is just a good like action kind of RPG where you play as a vampire.
It was entertaining and funny to watch you play that, especially whenever you went the path where you're like, I'm just gonna kill everybody. 'Cause
Yeah.
You generally like when there are games that have divergent paths. Generally, you'll do one and then you'll do the other if you're able to.
But this one you can kind of swerve at mid-range.
Yeah, and we're just like, I'm gonna kill everybody. It was just, I don't know. That was funny to watch because like the stuff that people were saying was just really funny.
And just how the world reacts to all that stuff is really cool.
It was really interesting.
Of course, and then yes, Red Dead is there. Red Dead is a gorgeous game.
But
Nobody
boring.
will ever argue it's not a gorgeous game, but it is kind of
For you,
boring,
it was boring. The transit time
and just, like,
between places.
you know, it's just
it
that-
was incredibly beautiful though, and although you found it boring, I kept remarking that a lot of people will probably. I can see how a lot of people would find those sequences that you found boring profoundly relaxing.
Oh yeah, it is definitely just like a
and
chill
calming.
game.
So I mean, you know, it's always what his opinion is about stuff
Yeah.
that he reviews.
And
Things. So
then-
don't let that turn you off.
And then essentially, well, turning you off, it's out of 257. Like, it's high up there.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just.
the
I'm
idea
just
is,
saying.
too, how the design swerves mid-game and it, like, changes pace, like, to what you're used to. And most people probably haven't even gotten to that point yet because you only have so much time to spend in the video game.
Yeah.
But I will say it is just still a solid game.
It's a very good game,
Um,
and it's very pretty.
And then I also have Battlefield 5 up there, because once again, Battlefield 5, or V, or however we're doing it now, is a gorgeous, gorgeous game.
I don't even remember that game.
Yeah, in which case, the Call of Duty Battlefield thing, of course, they kind of strayed away from their campaigns. Call of Duty didn't even really kind of have one. It did a little bit, but not really. Battlefield 5 did, and it had like 3 little chapters, which were only 3 maps each, but like their story behind them about like the unsung heroes of the wars and whatnot was just really well done and like just emotionally impactful. And I thought that was just really good, and I want to give that a nod.
I don't even remember it.
It is okay. It was very short. But that
Yeah,
doesn't say it's bad. Like a
okay.
lot of these games are short. Doki Doki is extremely short.
Yeah.
Of course,
But how long a game is has no
no, I
bearing
mean
on
Portal.
how good
Portal
it
is the
is.
base, like the baseline for that. Now, what I'm gonna do as normal is I'm gonna scroll down the long list of stuff here. So the first couple will be by. Actually, I think the whole thing is by rating except by the end. So I'm just gonna scroll down here. As you can see, like that's where the top couple ones are. Deltarune, a great peace sequel, AU version of Undertale. Who knows? But it's kind of just one episode and a little sample of it. So that's why I didn't really rank up high in my
Yeah,
rankings.
but you enjoyed it a
Oh, I
lot,
definitely enjoyed
and
it.
you continue to enjoy it because you keep watching theory
Videos of it, yeah.
videos on YouTube, which
Forza-
are very interesting.
Forza Horizon 4 enjoyed immensely. I love the
Pretty.
Forza series. And as you can see here, I put Game Pass to where I played them through Game Pass. So this maybe will give you an idea of what games are available on Game Pass. Yeah, Batman. I'm just scrolling down here as always.
Oh, it was neat when you played the Halo Master Chief Collection, being able to switch back and forth between the old and the new graphics. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
Halo 1
seeing
and 2, you
that.
could go in between, like on the fly, just flip between the two.
Yeah, I
things.
found that interesting.
Mutant Year Zero, I want to say was a surprise fun hit. Bomber Crew, as you can see, I spent a lot. There are some games I spent 30 minutes on, and there's some games I spent like probably 20 hours where I shouldn't have. And Bomber Crew is definitely one of them.
I remember the pigeon sound effects in that game.
Into the Breach is a classic. A lot of Jurassic Park, L.A. Noire. A lot of the games this year too, because it was on Game Pass and whatnot. A lot of them were remasters, or I had replayed them. Like almost like 24 to 30 games had been games I already played before or were remastered.
I enjoyed L.A. Noire a lot. Like the
story and the voice acting,
the mocap,
the facial mocap.
Yeah, because that was part of the gameplay, was trying
Like
to be able to. Yeah, I like that a lot.
A lot of games here. A lot of games. I'm just scrolling down here. Zoo Tycoon and Avian Colony. Once again, these kind of like sim-ish management games I loved a lot and played a shit ton.
Yeah, you did.
We played the Shenmue games. Trying to think here.
I didn't play any Shenmue.
Yeah, trying to think what we got here. Just scrolling down so you can see a long list. And unfortunately, this year it's a very, very, very long list. But you can see just how many say Game Pass. So this gives you an idea of like, I know I play a lot of games. I know a lot of people out there don't play a lot of games. So when I started Game Pass, I had played through roughly almost 40% of the games already. I can guarantee a lot of people out there haven't played those games before. Like even if you're on the PS4 bandwagon this generation, if you want to jump to the Xbox One and not buy any games and ignore the whole pre-owned trade-in and glut, just get Game Pass and you could have so many games to play, and it's definitely worth the money.
There's a game that I played.
Yep, State of Decay.
State of Decay 2. I haven't played it that much.
You got the collector's edition and everything.
I know,
Your PC's built for it, but you didn't really play it that much. It's still okay, and I want to say another good thing about Game Pass. Some of these games are day one on Game Pass. So Forza, that,
gotten around to playing
Sea of Thieves, are Game Pass day one stuff. But yeah, no, it's still better than the first one. It's just...
Some stuff is, some stuff isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get back to playing.
And as you can see, some of them I just played through and got achievements. So I don't have nothing really notable
stuff
about
that you
these
would play
games.
For 2 hours, and then I would hear the boop 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 boop.
She would hear me like quit the game,
go
to manage the game, and then select it to install it.
I recognize that sound because I heard it so much this year.
Lots and lots and lots of games. And once again, I'm not going to go over every single one of these. As we're all happy, you could always pause it
Banjo-Tooie.
or pause it.
Banjo-Tooie has really annoying music, and so does Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those games.
I hate listening to those games. Just sound... bleh.
And as you can see, the F1 racing games, like who cares? But you never know what game you might play and be pleasantly surprised with.
You didn't enjoy Farming Simulator as much this year as you have before. You played the new Farming Simulator.
Yeah, it's in the list here. It should be in the list somewhere here.
Yeah, but that I remember that was in your top 10 one year.
Yeah. When I played probably 70 games, and it might have been a lesser game year.
I don't know, but you didn't seem to be as in love with that one this year.
Not so much. So as we're still scrolling down here, so many games.
Yeah.
And it's still going.
Remember half of these.
I will say some of the more disappointing ones this year is We Happy Few, extremely disappointed with it. The Fallout game, whenever I get to it, if it's at the very bottom here, did not enjoy. I finally got around to PUBG. I don't understand how this game could still be that unpolished after all this time and money. It makes no sense. Fortnite, you deserve all your praise for being a solid game
Fortnite.
and sticking with it. PUBG, I can see why. There's Fallout, extremely sad. And then actually the more recent games I played were just recently towards the end of the year, The Long Dark and Obra Dinn.
Fallout was rushed out though.
It was. I have no idea.
And there were studio.
It's a Bethesda game, so it's got to be buggy on release. It's like an online game. It's got to be buggy on release.
I read some stuff that indicated that it was.
I wanted to highlight the games that you played this year, like the three that we remember off the top of our head. Doki Doki. Once again, we kind of played together, but you were definitely there for the full experience. Dream Daddy, same thing, and then State of Decay 2. No Man's Sky had some updates we kind of putzed around with. And now I'm actually concerned I'm going to do this, even though I hate doing this type of stuff. What? Is Farm Simulator in here? Yeah, okay, it's in there. Okay. It's there. I was concerned I didn't actually put it in my... it's very difficult keeping track of all these games and made it I usually, when I finish them, put them in this doc file. And then if not, I have to check my Xbox list. And speaking of Xbox, I want to make sure real quick, that's how I play most of my games. My gamers... And we're back. Still having some production things. Anywho. The beginning of the year, I started at around 300,000. So I got roughly 8,000 achievement points this year. As
80,000.
80,000, as evident by this fun line graph, which shows when I first started playing all those many, many years ago, and then just how it kind of ticked up, and this year, this is where I started this year, and then boop, but 80,000. Of course, this was actually before my last couple games I've played. Nonetheless, playing a bunch, it's always funny to see this graph and knowing what would happen if you kept your actual gamer tag. I also, at this point, would also like to think about what I'm going to be playing next year. So, of course, then I go to my trusty GameFly queue, and as you can see, I still have Long Dark, which was roughly one of the last games I played this year. And looking forward to next year, we have some holdouts from last year, Darksiders, Subnautica, Tales of Vesperia is a JRPG, in which case we know...
You don't generally like them.
I don't generally like them anymore, and I dare say that Tales of Vesperia was probably the last turn-based, it's not even turn-based, JRPG that I played from the 360 generation, and I loved it. So I'm really kind of interested to play through it again, but who knows how much time I'll actually get. JRPGs aren't usually, they're just huge time sinks.
Mm-hmm.
Got an Ace Combat game coming up, the remake of Resident Evil, and then Kingdom Hearts 3, which I am hoping to maybe take time off to play. I probably will be buying that game, but it's also my GameFly queue just in case I don't. There's actually, we'll be going to the Kingdom Hearts Experience, which is right now, if you're in the area, and in the area as in Florida, in downtown Disney, or as they call it now, Disney Springs, there's a Kingdom Hearts exhibit where they have like some production art, some merch, and then like playable demos of Kingdom Hearts 3. So we're going to be hitting that up probably next week or two. You also see the next Metro, Anthem, which everybody...
Didn't you just play Metro?
There are 3 different Metro games.
Ooh, I like Metro.
In which case, yeah, I mentioned before, Game Pass has the remixes of the previous one,
Yeah,
so I replayed
like
them
Metro.
again, so now, like, yeah, the third one.
Metro Last Light is the one that you played last,
Yes.
right? Okay, cool.
There's also Anthem, which everybody's all tizzy about. Devil May Cry 5, because we need one. Division 2. I will say, actually, Jump Force we're interested in to see kind of like the Shonen Jump battle, or it has a really distinct art style. And then I'm trying to think of other games I'm really looking forward to next year.
There aren't a whole lot.
Once again, this happens every single year. We look at this list, it's maybe a dozen or so. Some of them might not even come out this year. I will say, looking forward to Cyberpunk whenever it comes out.
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
having a sci-fi Witcher game would just be phenomenal, and like everybody's really looking forward to that, but I doubt it's going to happen this year. Crackdown isn't in the list because that's going to be a Game Pass freebie. But yeah, that's kind of the games I played this year. Once again, a lot. I hope to not ever really play that many again, and because like... The idea is that
I hope not
it was
to have to
very
play that many.
difficult keeping track of all of them. Ironically, like, I also want to say next year we should be getting Final Fantasy 7, and 9 and 10, like not the remake, but the remasters that are on PC are becoming to Xbox and the other platforms. So that's also going to happen sometime in 2019. So I'll hopefully maybe take time off to play those and take time to play off Kingdom Hearts, because I have to do something with. I have a lot of vacation time. I need to use it, and video games are the only thing I have to really spend on.
That's all I do.
That's all I do. People are like, take time off, what are you going to do? Play video games. And then what? Play more video games. My vacations are almost every single day after work. It's hard to understand that, like, a vacation to me is every day. I'm very fortunate. I am blessed. But, like, yeah, we can both do what we want to do. We don't really have that many other things we have to do, and we're very thankful about it. Yes.
I don't even know if that's a thing. I just thought that was funny.
But thank you, everybody, for watching as always, and I will catch you next time.